Greetings shipmates and welcome to another episode of Let's Make Mistakes. Today we are going to feature a game in the Daring, Moskva and Yamato as piloted by Tedoire StrangerThings and myself. This isn't the most spectacular game in the world, but what this is a game that didn't actually exist. Now what do I mean by didn't actually exist? Well, for those of you that were playing, or rather not playing, at the weekend on the EU servers, you may have noticed that certain games you may have played did not count anymore. Therefore, anything you did in that battle run, you didn't get. Now, I was certain this had happened because when I'd logged back in later on, after being booted out right at the end of this game, my daring was back at plus 50%. And I also was down about 11,000 or 12,000 XP from my last container. So I know this game didn't happen. Which is a shame in a way, because being piloted in the Moskva behind us is StrangerThings, who is new to mistakes were made, and this was one of the first games out where he'd ever played in divisions with anybody. So it becomes a little bit more impressive as we move through this game of how he did, but the fact none of us were rewarded for it. And as I did say, that Yamato being piloted by Tedoire is going to come into play later on in this game as well. Now, it doesn't start spectacular, it doesn't end spectacularly either, but it does need to be recovered quite hard later on in the game, when not many ships are left and the points are ticking down. And it would be a mistakes of made video if we wasn't talking about the mistakes that were being made, not just by me and my teammates, but by the opposition as well. But where mistakes are made, there's always a learning opportunity. Can we do it better next time? Or at least learn from your mistakes so that you can do them better next time. So as this game's cracking itself on, we are heading over towards the Delta Cap because we have hydroacoustics on board. So it's not a bad boat to be in and contest this cap. Now traditionally with this map you can push in here right to the island where I'm going and have a look. Just to be sure, I'm just checking to see what radar's knocking about. So we do have a Donskoy and a Salem that could be particularly close. But getting into this cap and getting the thing locked up is a good start. Let's not give away any free points. But two things need to happen if you're going to do this. Is that you don't get caught around that flank side, around the 9 line where the gearing has gone now. So we know we're now safe from the potential crossfire. Because what happens a lot is a DD will sail in here, do exactly what I'm doing, stop here, get radared by something that's sitting on that G line around 7 or 8, and then that Ibuki will have pushed around and he's got the shots into the side and you're going nowhere except about see Davy Jones's locker and spend your eternal soul down there doing nothing. But lucky for us, we've got the gearing around there support us. I have my teammates up above me and we'll see what we can get done here. Now I'd noticed I have a Buffalo just off the north and also a Donskoy. So opportunities are rife to actually find out what is going on in this cap and try and get this cap taken. Because right now the Alpha cap is already gone. Obviously they already started with Charlie. This cap is very much locked up and we're not going anywhere. Now I was thinking about the early push, but with RPF pointing backwards there, I know there's a Des Moines, I know there's an Ibuki, and we know from that rather inconspicuous smoke cloud over there that there's definitely a destroyer with us. And as nothing else has been spotted yet, we need to be careful. Now we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 sets of 6 torpedoes coming through there. So there's a good chance that we're facing the Grozavoy or the Haragumu, who's dispatched his load nice and early. So there's our radar. There's the first one coming through. Now the smoke cloud's not advancing, and I'm using RPF just to make sure that that's not coming behind us, and then just checking my rear to make sure that no one's got shots across the back of my boat. So I've called for notification to let my teammates know, and I've asked them very, very politely, either that Buffalo or Donskoy, if they could radar, because as such yet, that smoke cloud's been there a long time, and no one's radared it yet. Because if they had, we would know from the position of our cruisers what is in this cap with us, but neither of them seem bothered. And despite my pleas in chat, they're still not running their radar either. So I'm going to shove my hydros on and just move forwards a little bit and just see if we can pick anything up. Now, why have they not radared? It's a good question. Although I think the radar has just come up now because of that Haragumo's done. But generally the reason people don't radar is because if they haven't got shots on the target, they don't want to radar. Which isn't very helpful for team play, because not always do you need to have shots on target. We've got two battleships and a battle cruiser Moskva behind us, and an Ibuki on the flank that probably could have started shelling whatever was in the cap with me and giving us a chance to get this cap taken. But they haven't. Let's put that down to a mistake, or bad play, or selfish play. I'm not sure what way you want to look at it, but it's definitely one of those three. So now we know at least that we've got a Bravadoh in here. Now I was hoping just to keep him just slightly outside of 2 kilometres, so my hydros were picking him up, and he wasn't picking me up. However, he foiled my plans and moved within 2 kilometres. Now I'm thinking at this point he's surely not going to be stupid enough to rush round here and try and torpedo me. Mainly because we just saw some torpedoes going out the left hand side, and there's a good chance they were probably his and not the Haragumo's. But we are 200 points down now. He is being contested, so they're not scoring off that cap at the moment. But we're 200 points down and 2 ships down. It's not an unsalvageable situation. It just requires a clear head and nothing stupid. And a little bit of patience. I am in Discord with my teammates at the moment, and we are discussing the best way to go about this. And as you can see, that Moskva up there is being piloted by Stranger, who's just moving onto the flank line there to try and get this Bravadoh into a fire. But the Bravadoh has decided now to reverse, which is odd. So I'm going to talk just in front of where it's being predicted now. Hopefully, because he's gone out quite far, we'll get a torpedo or two into him. Now the first one's hit the rock, it's a shame. I opened fire hoping to get his engine early, so I was hoping to force that repair, and we did get the engine, but we got it with the torpedo, because if he was still going backwards while we're taking the engine, he might have drifted just a little bit further backwards and taken a second torpedo. Sadly that didn't happen for us, but he's now trying to rush the back. Now I can only assume at this point he thinks I fire both tubes of torpedoes out at him, so he thinks he's rushing round the back here like a hero to torpedo me. Yeah, I'm sorry pal, that's just not going to happen. So 310 points down at the moment, but now they're down 1 destroyer, and now we're taking this cap. Now we can start getting this party started. And at the same point our Tirpitz has just taken out one of their Richelieus as well, so we can now start to move through. Now I'm not rushing around this island just yet, because obviously there's a Des Moines still there, and we haven't been radared for a little while yet, so I'd like to try and hang around for a minute, see if we can bait out his next radar before we start our push through the cap. Now we were detected from firing. I think it may have just freely been the Yamato, but as we have 3 shots on him, there's no chance of me being hit in the cap now and getting the cap reset, which was the primary objective. If you're going to cap, don't open fire if you're detected. Get the cap done first. Nothing's going to change if you're shooting at things from here within 10 seconds. Getting the cap done and starting the ticker for the timer for the points running for your team will, however, contribute more than you getting yourself spotted and reset every 10 seconds. So, with StrangerThings pushing out now through the cap, we know the Haragumo is there. That's going to be a problem for him, and I want to get down there and deal with that quickly. But I'm going to go to the left of this island here, not to the right, because if I go to the right and that radar comes, we're going to be moving towards the Bismarck and expose ourselves to him. We don't want that to be happening. So we're just going to push down, get some shells out there for free. We're still shooting for free at the moment. We've not been detected because we are using the island cover, which we can just about lob over. Stranger's radar's gone out, the Haragumo's gone, and we need to keep pushing down now. Keep firing down this Yamato. While we can, we might as well. We're undetected, let's fire away. Now I need to be a little bit cautious here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the boat round and preemptively torpedo. At the moment he's got 41,000 health. I know he's under a lot of fire, but it's better to get a set of torpedoes out and hit him than it is to have not fired the torpedoes and watch one of your teammates get smashed in the face, because that Yamato survived on 1,000 hit points. They don't always go in, but they're better out than they are sitting in the tubes doing nothing, because I'm not going to need them again for a little while. Fortunately though, that Yamato has taken a massive splat in the side, and he's gone. So I'm bringing myself backwards again now and starting to shell this Bismarck. And we're still down on points, we're down on caps, and as we can see I do run the game timers. So we've got 8 minutes to get this game saved. And there, as we hoped, was the Des Moines radar. So I'm now going to push hard around this island, and very, very quickly as well, because Stranger's being shelled pretty hard on the nose. But in Battleship Moskva, you can tank a fair bit of that. The Haragumo's opened up on me, so I'm going to keep the bow tight and close to him. I know the Des Moines not in a position to shoot. The Bismarck's guns aren't in the right position, but I just need to push right up to this island and stop the Haragumo raining any more fire down on me. That needs to stop, and that needs to stop quickly. And we're just going to hopefully get up to this island, butt up to it, and we're going to wait out that radar before we drive around there, because that would be stupid. Hydroacoustics is running, so we know the Haragumo is just outside of 3 kilometres. We know his smoke cloud's dissipated there. I'm no longer detected. Radar has ended. Our Yu Yang has just taken out our Musashi, so there goes another 300 points deficit. We've got a lot of work to do here. Now, I edged forwards and back because I wanted the Haragumo to open fire on me, just in case he was out of range, which is very politely and obligingly what he's done. So now we've got the smokes available. I'm going to move the ship out, see what we can do with the Haragumo. Drop that smoke because he is hard detected because he's opened fire from the Donskoy, and then we're just going to shell him down. That isn't how to Haragumo what he's doing. He's too close. Sit further away. Sit in smoke. He's got a lot of ships around him to spot the push that we're making through this cap at the moment, and he could have a lot more damage. So that's alright. We've got 30 seconds left on this. It would have been nice to finish the Iowa. I didn't get the chance to, however. Our gearing did with main battery salvos. And now things are starting to look a little bit rosier. We've got this Bismarck pushing in. We've got the Des Moines round the corner, who's still a big threat. Now, he radared a little while ago, so we need to be a little bit cautious that his radar's not available again yet. But he is close to that island, so he's not going to be shelling us. That Donskoy, however, is now within within radar range, and that bothers me a lot. So we are going to pop our hill because DD lives matter, and health really, really matters. That could be the difference between one shell hitting me and one shell not hitting me. Now, a stranger's still pushing round behind me along with Tedoire and his Yamato. I'm keeping everything spotted for them as long as I can so they can rain down their shells, and the gearing's doing a good job of that as well. Now I want to draw your attention to the top of the map, to Bravadoh cap. We've just torpedoed the Bismarck, which is handy, but Bravadoh is currently being flipped. Now I'm going to guess that's the Yu Yang. Now what happens next surprises me. Of course, not just the fact that I was radared. So I do open fire, because it's not worth not opening fire now. We're already detected anyway. There's a good chance, unfortunately we've lost Stranger, that was the Des Moines, but because I'm in open water, and he's hard behind that island, he can't hit me, so I've decided to just rain the shells down on him. Lots of HE, because we need to try and get a fire on him really. He did put one out a little while ago. He's not in a position to lob back, so I'm trying to turn back towards the island just to narrow his firing angles. But unfortunately he's helping me out. He's moving his boat backwards into the rocks further. He's only got the rear guns in play. That's not going to be enough for him. And he's gone. Now, I did say about Bravadoh earlier, didn't I? Now, what's happened up there at Bravadoh? It's not being capped anymore. There's no ship that was sunk, because we've not got anything up there. It's just stopped. I was assuming it must have been the Yu Yang. But why is he not capping it anymore? What has he decided he's got to do that's better right now? We're 3 for 3. They're over 100 points up on us, and they could have taken a third cap, but didn't. Fair enough. So the Salem's turned towards me. He's got a shorter radar range, but I still don't want to be caught in radar range of him by smoke. Just coordinating our efforts here with Tedoire, who's going to bring his boat back round and defend D, because surely this Salem is going back into that cap. I've indicated that Ibuki could do with being dispatched quite quickly, and in the meantime the guns of Tedoire are slowly rotating their way around towards the Ibuki. There goes that AP flying across the top of the screen there, And there goes the Ibuki. Thank you very much. And now, for the first time in this game, we are leading it. Yay! But it's not over yet. There's still time for more mistakes to be made. This Yu Yang and this Salem. The Salem's going to D, so Tedoire's going to deal with him. After chatting politely with our gearing in the cap, he's going to go to A. Now my plan here is to open fire on the Salem to try and engage the Yu Yang. My smoke's available, my hydros are nearly off cooldown, because what I'd like to happen is him to fire at me, get spotted by the gearing, I can then smoke up and fire back, and if he happens to smoke up, we will leave our smoke and drive towards him with our hydroacoustics on and fire at will at 3 kilometers away. If he's sitting in smoke, he won't be able to do anything about it whatsoever. His torpedoes aren't a particular threat to us because they are deep water torpedoes. So here we go. We've opened fire on the Salem. RPF is swinging around. RPF is swinging around. And there's the Yu Yang who has opened fire at me. So far so good. So immediately we're going to reply. Start slowing down a little bit. Now I was hoping he would smoke before I had to first. But that's not the case. The gearing is just doing the right thing. He's just spotting him. So I've gone for smoke, and now I see he's dropped his weed generator. I don't plan on staying in my smoke for very long now. The job there's done. Now, we could have pushed away and fired torpedoes at the smoke, which is quite often a common tactic, and then followed the torpedoes in. No reason why not, but he doesn't appear to be moving. Or not yet anyway, so I'm not running my hydros yet because I'm not expecting him to disappear yet. I've got the circle on my mini-map, but there he is, out he comes. I never got the chance to get the hydroacoustics running to spot him stationary, so now it's just a gunfight. A simple, straightforward gunfight. If he gets too close, I'm going to torp him. I'm going to stay in HE because I'm running IFHE. AP may have done more, but we'd be getting big volleys off of him anyway. And that was the job done. All that's left now is for Tedoire to fire at the Salem, us to say thank you, and that'll be the end of that game. Sadly, no results screen because it crashed, but it was a 1-2-3. Well done to Stranger, thanks for playing with us. And I have been Captain Bravadoh, and until we sync again, Captain Bravadoh out. Please like and subscribe to the video below. Thank you.